Hey crafters, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our Happy Hauler birthday pop-up card. I've got all of my pieces cut out here in front of me, as should you. And let's take a look at our card base. Now this card is going to open up this way. Okay, and you'll notice that there's a series of little score marks here. This is the front of our card. And rather than having you put all of these little confetti pieces in place manually, we've included a print-to-cut element that you simply just glue to the back, and that's going to add a nice touch of color to the card base. If you don't have the ability to print and cut, you can always just cut out a little square and maybe just find a really cool pattern that's just full of color that'll show through. It's always an option. Now this one should be pretty flush all the way around. Okay, let's just press that down into place. And then we're going to take this piece, and using the little markers there on the bottom left and right corner, we're going to get that centered on our card base. So go ahead and flip this around. Apply your glue. And we'll pop that on there to kind of create the little canvas for the rest of our project. We'll get that right in place. Make sure it's centered. You know, those little markers are very helpful, but you still want to give it a nice visual appraisal just to make sure that it is in fact centered. Sometimes our machines are a little off. Okay, next we've got a few little elements that need to be glued on using the set of markers here, 4 of which are dimensional balloons. And I'm only going to do one of them. You can see I have 3. Each color has 3. You're going to do a valley fold on all 3 layers with your texture pointing out. So you've got your valley fold there. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to apply glue to 1/2 of our balloon, grab another piece, line it up. This first layer, you can kind of open it up and put it right on top of the other layer and press. These 2 sections will not be glued down because there's no glue on them. Okay, and then what we're going to do is apply glue to one more half, grab another one, line it up, and with this one you can kind of fold it so that from this angle it looks like a taco. Just make sure it's nice and lined up, just like that, so that when we open it up we have a flat back but a dimensional front. Okay, you're going to repeat that for the other 3 balloons. And then once we have them all put together, so at this point you probably want to pause me, get all your balloons done, and then come back and we'll continue with the assembly here. I'm going to apply some glue to the back of the flat part, and our red balloon, this is one of the larger balloons, is going to go right here. You see there's a little marker there to help you with the placement. You can actually put that down flat, and then once it's on there you can flare it back out just like that. There's a marker here, and that's going to be for, in this case, I've got a dark blue. Okay. And use the little markers to help you with the placement. Just like that. You can also do it this way. You don't have to fold it completely flat. All right, we've got a little blue one. It's going to go right here. Okay, just like that. And then I have a tiny little yellow one. It's going to go right here. Now your colors may be different, but chances are you're probably just following along with our recommended colors, in which case just follow along with the placement and you'll be in good shape. So those are our dimensional balloons. And we have some flat stars. I'm going to start off with this red one here. and this one's going to go right here. You can see the little markers for it. I have an orange one. It's going to go right here. Just a few little dots of glue. Pop that right there into those little markers, just like that. Got a blue one that's going to go right there. And that's it for the stars. And then we're going to start kind of putting our truck together. Now we have a series of, these are little balloon pieces that the truck is hauling, okay? So we're going to start off with our silver piece, okay? And then kind of work from largest to smallest pieces, and then work our way up and forward. Okay, so let's take this silver piece. This is the largest piece, and you'll notice that there's a series of markers down here to help you with the placement of this piece as well. Okay, it's going to go right about there. So let's go ahead and get that glued into place. This is going to be the canvas within a canvas for the paper piecings for our little dump truck. Okay, just use those little markers there at the bottom. You'll see where kind of everything just kind of fits in and around those markers, just like that. All right, next we're going to start with this black layer. That black layer is going to go right on top of our silver layer, just like that. Let's go ahead and get that in place. Nice and easy with the glue. Work that perimeter a little bit on the inside. And just line that up as accurately as you can. Should fit pretty much perfectly. Okay, there we go. Got that in place. And now, since we have that in place, we can go up here to the balloons and get those in place. So we'll start with this large layer. And you can see there's a little, well, just match it up with the shadow element, like so. Next, we're going to take this dark blue and find the orange. And the orange is going to go on top of the dark blue. Just going to match that up, like so. And we're going to throw a little bit of yellow on there. Like so. Okay, and we'll put glue on this whole thing. And that's going to go right there. Make sure that it's above the black. We don't want it to get in the way of the assembly of the actual truck. And then we have this little blue element for a blue balloon, and that's going to go right here, like so. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the largest green layer and apply our glue to the main part, and then we'll kind of hit the little details with a little bit of glue as well, just like that. And this is still pretty self-explanatory. Just want to get that nice and lined up all the way around. Okay, now while we're here, before we get too deep into the layers, let's take this little gray piece and put it down on the left wheel. Okay, just match that up with the little cutout so that silver is still visible, just like that. Okay, that's really it for that. And then let's grab the next green layer. That's going to go on next. Same thing with the glue application. I'm going to match up the little rear view and then the bottom and the wheel. Pardon my head, it's in the way. Tends to do that. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to grab this blue layer and get that installed. Lining up the rear view on the left. Pop that into place. There we go. Okay, now there's this little blue element that's going to go right in there. That's for the window. That should fit like a little puzzle. So just pop it right in there, like so. Beautiful. All right, now let's grab this piece. This is for the other wheel. This has to go on next. Okay, just match that up with this wheel here, like so. Make sure it's nice and flush up against the side. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to head over to this piece, this green piece here. And let's get our glue on this whole thing here. Go easy on the glue on that little cutout part. I'm going to match this up, top left corner, flush with the top. Pardon my head. Flush around the sides, just like that. We have one more little overlay. Just try to build a nice dimensional card. There we go. I'm going to match that up top left. Pardon my head. Flush with the top again. There we go. That looks great. We have one more little wheel part. For this wheel, we can get that in place. Just match that up. There we go. Okay, putting the left rear view in place. Just a few little tiny dots. This is the silver foil element. It's going to go right there. There we go. And grab the right one. Hopefully I'm not dropping anything here. Okay, and that is going to go over some of the other elements here. Just want to match that up as accurately as you can. There we go. Okay, and we have these little gray pieces that are going to go on top of that layer that we just put down. One in the center of this one. Get that nice and straight. And one for the other one. Nice and easy with the glue. If you're using silver foil, you don't want to cake it on there because it's going to slide around. Okay, let's see what else we have here. We have, there's some little tiny details for the wheels. There's this little rectangle. It's going to go right here in the center of that one. Maybe give that a little nudge. There we go. And then there's a small one for that side, for the back wheel. Just a little dot of glue on that. Pop that into place, just like that. Okay, we got a couple fender pieces and then we can work on the main part of his eyes. There's an orange and a dark blue The dark blue goes on top of the orange, and this one's going to be on the right-hand side. It's also going to kind of make, I guess these would be like fog lights, maybe. Pop that right on top of the orange layer, and that's going to go right here, like so. Just match that up like that. And then for the other side, basically have the same thing. Just make sure you match this up accurately. It's pretty small, but it's not that bad. You can do it. Okay, now this one's going to go up like this. The flat side on the bottom, round side towards the top. There's a little shadow element there. Where that goes. Press that into place. And now let's take a look at his little eyes and his facial features. We have this black layer, and this blue layer is going to go right on top with just going to reveal his little eyebrows. Okay, so take this blue and glue that onto the black. We'll get that in place here in a second. There we go. Get that nice and centered. And go ahead and flip this. Flip it around, apply your glue. And there's a series of little markers there to help you with the placement of this piece. This is on some dark paper, so it's a little hard for me to see where it goes. It goes like that. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to put these white layers in place here. This one's going to go right here. Like this. Just follow the little round part on the bottom. Okay, and you'll notice that there's kind of like a little, tiny little circular part there. You want those pointing in. Those are going to be the round parts of the eyebrows. And it's going to go right here. Like that. Okay. And let's take our blue layer. On this blue layer, there's a larger circle, and you want that on the top left. And the smaller circle is going to be on the right-hand side. Okay, so just like that, and then align that with the inside corner, like so. And I'm missing one. Oh, I dropped a few pieces on the floor. I don't know how they ended up there. Luckily, I found them. Okay. And again, larger circle, top left. This one's going to be a little more centered, like so. And then find the black pieces. Okay. The larger one's going to go on the right-hand side, smaller one on the left. And you want to line up the little circles, obviously. So we have a truck with some eyeballs. Way more fun than just a plain old truck, that's for sure. Okay, we're going to line up this circle and that half circle like that, and then let's give them some eyebrows to finish off the look. Okay, the pointy part is going to be off to the side, round part towards the center. Just squeeze out a little bit of glue and then just dab it. And just line that up as accurately as you can. Have a little bit of glue on my black there. Just rub it off before it dries. Should come off if you run into the same problem. Okay. And same thing here, round part towards the center, pointy part out to the end. There we go. That looks great. All right, what's left? Just his mouth, really. Hey Siri, how much time left?
There's a timer with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left.
Keep on cruising then, I guess. All right, so let's put the mouth and the grill together. Okay, it's gonna go like this. And we're gonna start off with this blue piece. The orange piece is gonna go on next. So we have just a few little reveals from the orange that are gonna show through the gray. But go ahead and just match it up with the grill initially, as well as the rest of the bottom. And press that into place. Then grab your gray, the dark gray, and that's going to go on top. Same thing. Line that up just like that. Try to get it as flush as you can. There we go. I'm going to grab the little silver trim that's going to go around the outside, starting at the mouth here, working our way up and around. And if you get a little bit too much on this, I highly advise that you kind of dab it with your finger so that it doesn't come showing through onto the layer we're putting it on, since it's so thin. Okay. Do your best to get that lined up, just like that. It's pretty simple. There we go. Push that down. Okay, and grab the black part of the mouth, and we can glue that into place. Anytime you are working with these and get too much glue on something, just take some of it off. Last thing you want is a giant mess on your project because you got glue everywhere. Okay, there we go. And then we take this red piece, and that's going to go on this white piece, just to get that little bit of highlight to pop through. A few little dots, just spread it around with your nozzle. Pop that right on there, like so. And then we'll put that right at the bottom of the black part of the mouth. Like that. You can kind of hang it over the black a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right. So now just have some little headlights left. Okay. And we're going to start with white, apply the orange, and then the yellow. So flip around that orange layer. Throw a little bit of glue on there and line it up with your white, like so. And you can see the shape of the yellow. There's kind of a little point in the center. Just match that up with the orange. Just a few little dots. Get it nice and centered. There we go. Press that into place. Same thing with this one. And we're going to take this one and we're going to foam square it to the front of our truck. We'll complete our happy little hauler, and then we can put some gifts together and wrap this little fella up. He is super cute. You know, if this is too small for you to work with, I guess you could always omit it and just use some bling if you want to. But hey Siri, stop. Okay, and then you'll notice that there's Just set a little markers there on the front. And you want the pointy part kind of pointing over to the left. That little detail on the inside, you want it kind of looking over to the left. And try to make them, try to angle them the same. There we go. Now we can flip this over, grab some foam squares. I'm going to do one here, and then maybe one here, and one here. Peel off the backing, and we'll pop that right on, right there. And there you have it. There's our happy little hauler. So, as you can see, I realized is you could definitely make this larger and make it a shadow box, which would be really cool. All right, so let's take a look at the inside here. We have these little GIFs that we need to put together. It goes together really quick, actually. We're going to start off with the largest layers. Okay, these here. I've already done this 3 times. And we also have a little banner. We'll put that together as well. These are just the little details. So we're going to start off with this orange layer, and this yellow is going to go on top of that. So go ahead and apply your glue. It's pretty quick. Just get a little bit on those loops. Okay, we're going to match this up. Press it together. Okay, and then we'll do this layer here with the 2 GIFs attached to it. And line that up as accurately as possible. And then this large single gift. Of course, that's going to go right here. Get that lined up, nice and accurate. And then we're going to take this piece here, okay, and it's going to go on like this. Let's flip this over, apply our glue. Try to get a little bit on the loops in the middle and on each of these little ribs. Okay. And I'm going to line up the loop first. Get that nice and centered. Get the center in place, and then adjust these little ribs. One of them's kind of free floating a little bit, and that's okay. Press that down, and then we have one more layer for the center gift. It's this orange one. Okay, and pop that right over like that. There we go. All right, now grab this little single piece, this little blue guy, and apply some glue there. He's going to go over here on the right hand side. We've got a couple of score marks there to help you get it nice and centered. Pop that into place, and then we'll grab this one, and that's going to go over here right on top of this. There we go. We'll grab the smaller one. Kind of gives us the little details on the bow. We made it larger than it needs to be so it's easier to handle. It's part of the magic of Dreaming Tree. Instead of having I know we had a few small pieces, but we try to avoid that at all costs. But not by, we don't want to take away from the design. So sometimes you got to have little pieces, but do our best to avoid it. Okay, this one's going to go right here, like so. And then we'll grab this final piece for our gifts and pop that into place. just like that. Okay, how cute is that? All right, let's take a look at our banner. There's 2 larger flags, 2 smaller, or 3 smaller. The smaller ones are going to remain the same. The larger ones are going to get this little overlay. Try to line that up as accurately as you can. Like that. And grab the other one. And pop that in place. Like that. Okay, got that. All right, let's take a look at the actual mechanism for the inside. Oh, by the way, let's, for this one, in your extras folder, you have a series of numbers from 0 to 9. We picked a 3 for this one. So I'm going to take the top layer and glue it to the shadow layer. This is like a holographic paper. It's pretty cool. Pretty sure we got it from 12 by 12 cardstock shop. Press that down. We'll hold on to that and just use it in just a minute. And here is the mechanism. Okay, and you want to just start, I'm going to start at the bottom here and just start folding gently all these little score marks. Okay, and then we'll go to the center and pop this out. Very gently, don't go too hard just yet. You want to kind of loosen up all the little score marks on all these different sections so we don't accidentally crease the card base, or the overlay I should say. And then we'll go up here, fold that, and that's going to come out like that. And then now very slowly and gently, just start bringing this in towards you. And it should fold nice and flat for you, like that. Okay, and I'll show you what the mechanism looks like here in just a second. Okay, so that's kind of what you want it to look like. And just like we did with the front, we have all of this little confetti that's going to be cut out. This back piece is going to be flush with the top, but it's not going to go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and if you want to, just kind of fold it a few more times, give it a nice press to loosen it up, and we can begin applying glue to the back of this. Just work around the cutouts. Try to go down as far as you can. Go in perimeter first. You don't have to get every single inch of it, just as long as you have the majority of it covered, you'll be fine. Okay, then we'll take this print to cut element. And again, if you don't have a print to cut, or if you don't have the ability to print and cut, just find some really cool, colorful paper to put behind this. Make sure it's flush at the top, not hanging off the sides, and press it down. All right, so that's in place. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the card, and you'll notice the little score marks up here. We want to get this aligned, and this has got to go all the way into the fold. So let's go ahead and begin applying our glue to the back of this, the entire back, like so. And we're going to open up the card, line it up with those little markers, make sure it's centered, and that also it's pushed in all the way up into that fold. And once you've got it, go ahead and push it down closed. Make sure it closes nicely, and continue pressing down to get that glue to really grab. Okay. There you go. Now we'll fold this over this way and apply glue to this section here. Go all the way around. And then just close it. Make sure it's pushed in all the way. Then close it up and continue pressing. There we go. That's it. Such a simple mechanism, but it's so cool inside. Okay, and here you go. And that's how it should open up. And now you'll notice a series of little score marks there. That's for our little banner. So go ahead and apply some glue to each of the flags and use those little score marks to help you with the placement of your banner. Should pretty much start and terminate on the edges of the white base. Okay, now our number is going to go right here. You want to make sure you get it centered and don't put it flush on the bottom. Okay, you want to leave a little bit of room because when it closes, it has a tendency to kind of rub up against the surface, and we don't want that. Okay, so make sure it's nice and centered. If you need to scooch it over a little bit, that's fine. A little bit of that white is going to show through, but it's fine. Once you got it, go ahead and close it, press down. Make sure it stays in place. And there's our 3, and then our gifts. You'll notice here that there's a little piece that sticks out, just like this one here. Now this one again is not going to be flush with the surface. There's actually a little score mark just above the fold. You want to keep it above or at that little score mark. You want to leave a little bit of room down there at the bottom. Now I noticed that when I've done this the last 2 times, when I went to close it, it kind of moved a little bit. So I would not close it right away. I'd give it a few moments, let it set, and then I think I'm still closing it too soon, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'll see if it moved on me. It did. Moved up a little bit. Just give it a little nudge, and then continue closing it. And that time it didn't move, and there it is. Okay, so that is how it's supposed to look. So the card's done. Now we just have to put a little envelope together. Okay. And we have this blue panel here. What we're going to do is apply our glue to the top flap all the way around. Okay. And then take this piece, lift this up about 45 degrees, take this and push it up against the score mark. Once it's centered, go ahead and press down and press. There we go. And we have a little party hat. I'm going to put the red or vermilion color on top of the orange. Just like that. Should fit on there perfectly. Press that into place and put a little star on top. Just like that, holding it by the points. There we go. And this is going to go right on like this. Nice dimensional little embellishment for your envelope. So colorful. And just line that up so that none of that white's showing. Make sure it's nice and centered. Press that down. There we go. And then we're going to take these 2 side flaps, bring them in. We're going to apply our glue right along this inner edge on both sides, like so. And then bring the bottom up, press down. And I'm not going to put the card in just yet, but I will show you. Plenty of room in there for that. And there is your beautiful coordinating envelope to go along with your happy hauler. So that's going to do it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. While you're there, hit the little bell so you get notifications anytime we release a new project, whether it be paid or free. And if you make this or anything from our new bundle, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where you'll find myself and over 46,000 of our crafty friends. So hope you had a blast. And as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.